What? Made up story? Okay, although she was eating one meal a day, that is actually the one true fact about all that. Me setting the table of the scene, right? How many of you guys smelt a casserole? How many of you guys saw, right, in your mind, the kitchen? You felt the living room. You looked across the table. You felt the feeling in the room, right? You knew. You're like, oh my, I've been. You into that. I made you the protagonist in my story. How? Right? By following the hero's two journeys. I get so frustrated when people don't pull this thing off right. Right? The first 10% of any story, you must create rapport with that person. You do it through by getting two of the five elements that create rapport. Okay, this is on page, if you need to check it out, it's on page 111. It's the 111st page. Okay, okay, right there. To win, to retrieve, to, oh, I guess there's only four. Oh, no, 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 no. To you, because I've heard every funnel builder on planet Earth use those sentences before, right? Right? I don't know if this is gonna work, right? Right? Spouses walking up or loved ones walking up. Is this the time? Is this the funnel? Is this the business that's actually gonna work? Is this actually gonna work this time? Right? Those are that's real stuff. That's real, right? That's some real stuff going on down there. Right? Everyone has gone through that. If you haven't yet, I'm sure everyone has on this call, right? Some form or fashion of that, or at least the fear of it. Is this actually going to be what works? I don't know, babe, but I'm going to act like I'm tough. All right? Right? It's like, I don't know if you guys saw, some of you guys are in 2 Comma Club coaching, some of you guys are not, but the story that I tell about that book, right? The reason that works This is using things that we put in expert secrets to help you actually be successful with it, okay? Okay, check this out. The first 10%, I must have some rapport built up inside the story here. The easiest way to do that, we're going to go in and we're going to start telling some conflict, okay? And we're going to hit this place of no return. And what we want to see happen is somebody leave their home. They must leave their current state. Frodo left the Shire, okay? He didn't want to. He had to, right? He was in a place of jeopardy, right, from the very beginning. Had. Wow. Because that since I'm the protagonist in your story at that point, right? Doesn't matter my background. Doesn't matter how many kitchens every one of us has been a part of. You all imagined a different kitchen, yet you all started experiencing the exact same things. You went through the same emotions. Wait a second, even though the facts were slightly. So when you go in, wires 100,000 to Steven for the bombs he's dropping. Sweet. So anyways, when you go in and you start telling stories, like the story is the sales script. And you have to understand, like that. A lot of times, that's why people won't continue on, or they won't be. They freak out over the whole. I don't know how to tell a script, man. That, like at the core level, it just be a storyteller. You're gonna do great. Okay, you're gonna do great, and don't stress out about it. Um, so anyway, let me grab this here. Bad templates. There's a lot of expert overload. Look, $10,000 a day for ads, spend money. You guys see how I can start to interlace these things into the story that I tell. Don't lie, okay? What I'm showing you here, there's some serious power for you to dissuade people and be very shady. He has a great course on storytelling. In fact, I have his book here somewhere. Will Smith was going through it. He liked it so much that he reached out to Michael Haig, and together, the Heroes 2 Journey script is the literal script that wrote the movie Hitch. Okay, this is powerful stuff, and if you can master it, like a marketer is a storyteller. That's very formulated. Okay, the art piece of it, there's like not as much leeway for the art piece, which is great news. It's great news. Shouldn't freak you out. It's big, big, massive, just a cool formula. It's just plug and play the whole thing. So anyway, okay, new story. You ready? Go. Right. Yeah. The funny thing that always drives me nuts when people say like they're in B2B, and I'm not yelling, just so you know, but there's this false belief in like, well, I'm in B2B, so does this stuff happen? There's no such thing as B2B. There's B2P. There's still people in business, right? You're still going to sell the decision maker. This stuff still very much goes for it. So, now, yeah, it wouldn't. She created some horror stories about things that happened with past clients, but they seemed bland a bit. Yeah, and it's a lot of times with horror stories is because what's happening to characters, we don't know the character, so we don't care what happens to the character. Meaning, if it's like when you're watching a movie, and at the end of the movie someone dies, and you're like, I don't really care that person died in the movie. It's because there was no rapport that was built. some of my first funnel failures and successes, right? It's a new story. Remember, this is still vehicle. So vehicle, right? False belief, the old belief, the new belief, or the new story that we're going to tell here. That's going to be squishy. Funnel failures and successes, and there's two parts to it. One of the first things that we built was we built this insurance funnel to sell smartphones, which is really, really cool. And a lot. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, so then the story is going to be like, I remember building the first few funnels, and literally, just maybe 6 months before this, I was trying to sell diamonds, literally. Okay, and we were selling diamonds, and we went through all this work to make sure they weren't blood diamonds. We did a whole marketer say you have to. How many of you guys have heard this? You have to join the story that's going on inside the marketer. Join the conversation going on inside their head. You guys ever heard any marketer say that? Join the conversation going on inside their head, right? I never knew what the heck that ever meant. That always drove me nuts. I was like, what does that mean? This is what that means. The conversation going on in their head is the story that they're telling themselves. And this is the bridge. Okay, this is the bridge between the two right here. I tell elements and themes from the old story in the new one that I'm saying, but I include a few epiphanies in there to help them realize that but that's why that's where the bridge happens. Join the conversation going on inside people's head. I was like, what does that even mean? What are you talking about? That's what that is. Anyway, okay, so free plus serving funnel. I'm not techie, or there's so much information going on out there. What I'm gonna tell the story that I told you guys about me sitting next to Russell attempts and then shaving down, shaving down, shaving down. Um, that could be a cool story for that. Because I could tell in a neat way that helps them realize, like, yeah, there's a lot of info out there, but you don't have to go through all the techie crap. Steven's already done that. And you don't need to go through all the, oh, I'm not an expert. Look how much stuff is already out there. Really fun for that. Oh, look at that. Okay, cool. Story about how funnel you had to make time and they got over the bridge. Where's the info on bridges? Is it just my own epiphany knowledge that is the bridge? It's the story. Man, these people spending 10 grand a day in ads. Look, oh my gosh, look, whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. And like, those are cool stories, and it's true. That's all true. But it can become a barrier to someone being willing to start, right? So I think it'd be cool if I told a story here. Let's talk about cash. That's usually one of the fastest ones. I want to talk about the way we got our first ClickFunnels account was pretty awesome, and how we didn't have any cash for it. And so what we did is we planned it and then launched. And during the 2 week trial, we said goodbye to our wives. We hid in some box office seats in a basketball stadium because they had good internet. And in the 2 week trial, we built the funnel and got customers in that at least broke even so that it paid for our ClickFunnels account. That's really how we did it. That would be cool. Box call them knee jerks. The secondary objection to an external traffic. Well, okay, just hustle and go find the person. You don't need tons of traffic. You just need one person to buy. And typically, when people think of traffic, they think like, I gotta have all this traffic coming in all the time. Like, no, you don't. You need one person who's a buyer. And if you don't have money for traffic, that's fine. Go figure out who it is you want to go have buy. But I couldn't get it to convert because I didn't. I thought it was a numbers thing from the front end. Interesting. It's either that story or the story where I was sending traffic for Paul Mitchell, and the record was 50,000 people in 2 days. That was a big one for me too. Okay, it'll be some story along those lines though. Uh, Fishing where the hot traffic is. Yeah, exactly. Fish exactly. The high likely buyers, people that hate it. Okay, cool. We'll do yeah. Okay, and honestly, when you're telling, okay, so we have vehicle, false belief, old story, new story. Now we need a promise. Okay, promises are also headlines. Our headlines are also promises. Okay, so let's go with promise. Do how to blank without blank. Okay, the first part is the big promise. How to big promise, right? The huge result, right? It's a huge result. Okay, and the without is the fear. Without huge fear. Edge. right? And I've got some authority in the ClickFunnels space now, so I could write on that a little. That's fine, right? My 3-step funnel building process. Um, um, and what's the fear here? The fear is, and I'm telling a story about these funnel failures to successes. I mean, I think I counted like 17 funnels before I had one that actually blew up. I mean, I've certainly put in the time, right? And when someone hears that, they think, "Oh, I have to build 17 funnels in all this time." And so I wanna, whew, that knee-jerk reaction, like I'm punching them in the gut. Oh. It or whatever. I don't love it, but it's a good basis. You see what I'm saying? How to 3-step. Here's my 3-step funnel building process without can you use even if? Totally. So Jennifer, the first thing that I do is I just put it in this format, and then afterwards I go and I'll usually, you know, turn up the sexy from there and toss in words like ethical and secret and hacks and even if, yeah, even if you haven't spent 2 years learning, or even if you have. In 2 or 3 days coming up with the headlines. So like as long as we get like the idea of what it is, that really helps a lot. Without yeah, cut learning curve 90%. That says it in a wrap. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Without learning curve, with all this pain and buying bad templates and right all the stuff that I know that they're thinking, buying bad templates without spending tons of time customizing, right? Without, but you still This changes everything was the theme that we used in the first Funnel Builder Secrets webinar. If you guys remember the headline from that, was, by the way, there's still 48 of you guys on. This is awesome. Appreciate it. The headline at one of the Funnel Builder Secrets, the first Funnel Builder Secrets was 3 easy tweaks for a 540% increase on your funnels, right? And without sitting next to Russell for 2 years to do it or to learn it, something like that, right? They're not going to be able to do it anyway, right? Without sitting next to Russell for 2 years to cross it. Ooh, there we go, something like that. Sitting next to Russell for 2 years. How to cross the funnel gap without sitting next to Russell for 2 years. Stuff like that, variations like that. Okay. I love that you'll share 2 years of insight. What if it was like how to keep ClickFunnels, or how I got ClickFunnels without money to do it, or how I got ClickFunnels, how I've kept ClickFunnels every month for free, or something like that. Just true. I've never put a dollar of my own into it because we had customers doing it. Like something like that. How to earn $18,000 scholarship to study in Australia. How CF pays for itself every month. Yeah, stuff like that. I've got my ClickFunnels account for free, and Russell didn't give it to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, Ben, I love that. How I got CF for free. anyways, you guys get those themes? All right, we now have old story, right? Let's look at the board, right? We know who we're selling to. We know who inside of the red ocean, the persona that we're selling to. We're not selling the diehard, the people who are successful with it. We're trying to sell the people that are slightly struggling, right? We're selling the people who have taken upon themselves to self-build. We're taking the 2 Comma Club in one funnel. See how to false beliefs. False beliefs here. They're like, I'm gonna get 2 Comma Club in one funnel. Okay, a few things left we just need to do here, and we'll be done. Old stories. We know it's fueling the belief. We know news stories, how we're going to break them. We know the promises to get them excited about it. Right? Really, your headlines are just the intros to your stories. That's all. So anyways, this is literally secret number 1. That headline, that's secret number 1, secret number 2, secret number 3, right? So I am doing an auto webinar here, but even if I was doing a book, guys, like it's still the exact same thing. And I know some of you guys have seen me do this, but I just want to illustrate this real quick here. The other things that we need to do real quick is we need to come up with a headline for the overall thing. And then we're going to be done here. Scenario. Anyway, so that's what we have to come up with. Okay, real quick, just know that I do this regardless of funnel type. Okay, and before we move on to this, let's go actually create the offer. Now we're going to create the actual offer here. Okay, and I do this with an acronym. And Dan, I know you've seen this. A few of you guys have seen this before. Okay. Okay, check this out. Xavier. That's right. Okay, and please understand that there's some art to this and there is some science to this. I just want you to know where the gaps are. Okay. Sorry if I move off here a few. Anyway, really close to you guys. What's up? Okay, love Xavier. Ah, yeah, Charles Xavier. He's the man. So this started while I was at a FAT event, and I realized that the offers that we create are there's a portion that's reactionary to the market, and there's a portion that is the prolific zone, right? Prime example, right? If I go out and I create a product, right, and that's what we're gonna do right here, right? We know from this point now, right, that there are these beliefs, these false beliefs, these stories, okay? And I need to go and I need to create a product to help allay their fears. That's really to, there are 3 methods I've used, and I use them all together, right? That'd be interesting. Okay, okay, a vehicle-based one. I've had so many failures in the past. I've had so many. Can you recap all this before we finish, Mike? Totally, man. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll go. We'll go. I just need, right. It takes a while to like think through this stuff, but this is the like most important. A lot of people's offers, like lots of times, there's not that much wrong with the offer. It's just they've only reacted to Red Ocean. There still needs to be this, this is where you can be creative and play a little bit. Okay, so check this out. So this is where I come up. This is where I start teaching Xavier. Okay. The R, that's like reason to act now. That's like the fast action bonus. Okay, what if I gave away, like there's an event I'm going to be coming up here soon with called my offer lab, and my offer lab is where I do this very thing with you, right? For like 2 days, 3 days, right? This is like such a huge piece of it. Most of the time, especially now, like the community is educated enough. The funnel building isn't so much the issue. It's that they have no idea. One free ticket to my offer lab, right? Tell me when I need an amazing excuse to go to Boise. That's awesome. um, okay, and then we have. This is the blue portion. Just bought my airline ticket. Okay, we haven't even announced it yet. Just a second. Okay, but what we want to do though is we need to come up with something that is still incredible. Now, we still haven't used, right, here's funnel maps, and that's going to help them with the vehicle, right? And think of it this way, right? About it. We got this thing called Inception Secrets and Funnel Hacks. So you could just funnel hack people that have already done good things, and you could just model off their success. Does that make sense? He's being reactionary with these products, but he wouldn't have known just from market data to create something like ClickFunnels, right? And so the thing at the top, and this isn't always true. Sometimes X and A are the same thing. Just so you know, X is what you, the seller, want to sell them. A is the anchor of the offer. A is the anchor. A is the thing that they want the most from it. When you're seeing something like funnel hacks, do you think they want funnel scripts? Yeah. But what they really want, the anchor of that offer, is ClickFunnels itself, right? Russell wants, though, them to buy funnel hacks because they pre-buy 6 months of ClickFunnels. Does that make sense? X of funnel hacks is funnel hacks, the actual 6-week masterclass.